So in this tutorial, we're going to be looking at why the marking criteria is your best friend. Now you may think that this is completely ridiculous. Why is the marking criteria your best friend? It's just the piece of paper or the booklet that your teacher gives you, that your professor gives you, and it just sits in a corner and just stays there. But actually, the marking criteria is incredibly helpful when it comes to figuring out what your tutors want, when it comes to if you want to up your mark, it tells you what's expected. And that's exactly it. Why is it useful? It tells you what is expected. Now, why is it good to know what's expected? Well, when it comes to writing essays for university, for school, whatever exam you're sitting, it's a good idea to know what's expected of you. That means you know how you're supposed to write the essay to get the grade you want. So how can you use the marking criteria? Well, it comes down to what grade do you want? So what I mean by this is, are you aiming for an A, a B, a C, or are you looking to improve your grade? Are you looking to understand how you get marked? Because sometimes you get back an essay, you get a mark you don't understand. Sometimes your lecturer or your teacher will give you comments and say that will be like, not enough expansion or need some evidence, something like that. So how do you understand that? And if you can't ask your teacher, where can you go? So let's look at some examples. If you want to go from a C grade to a B grade, how do you figure out how to do that? Well, it will come down to going to the marking criteria. When you have a marking criteria guide, which you should get from your tutor, from your lecturer, any teacher, there is a marking guide for any exam, any coursework you have to sit in schools and universities. And for each level, so you might have numbers, you might have letters. So in this case, for this example, we're going to be using letters. So if you wanted to go from a C grade to a B grade, then you would look at the marking criteria and check, okay, this is what the marking criteria says for grade C. You'd read it, you'd look at, okay, maybe I've done this, this, and this. And then you'd figure out what have you done in your essay and what haven't you done. So you compare grade C to grade B, and there are graduations of a level. That's why we get graded. If you wanted to go from a B grade to an A grade, you would look at, okay, what have you done well in this essay and what have you missed? What's the difference between a B grade and an A grade? And then, using the marking criteria, you'd figure out how can you improve your essay. So in my next video, I'm going to be looking at different example marking criteria. I'm going to be comparing them and showing you what the differences are between A, B, C, and D grades. So don't go anywhere, make sure you click on to the next video.